Good afternoon. This is a kind of a quick video, but it's an important subject that comes up more often than you might imagine just because records are hard to keep track of and whatnot. And basically the question is, what happens to my estate if I write a will and I hold it as as the person that had the will done, right, my client, and then after I pass away, nobody can find it, it's lost, etc. And the law, I'll give you the answer, spoiler alert, right? The law is that if you have control over it as the client and it's supposed to be in your possession, but it's gone at the time of death, the presumption in the court is that the will has been destroyed and revoked. So it's no longer in effect, as if it had never been written whatsoever. And that can create quite a few problems when you're going to sort out an inheritance among family members and the will said one thing and maybe there's been some discussion among the family members about what's going to happen, and then nobody can find the will. So practical advice, keep copies. At least there would be copies of the will. Not saying that those would be honored by the court, but at least you'd have something, not a totally destroyed, lost will. And then the next thing, the best advice, of course, is to keep a safety deposit box with your original in it and make certain that your loved ones know where the bank is that has the safety deposit box and has a key for it and whatnot. And that can be opened with your estate and with court authority. So that is the best way to protect yourself. And there are lawyers, this is the next kind of practical level of this, but it was a practice of lawyers to hold on to wills themselves. So we draft a will for a client and we'll say, we'll keep that for you and safeguard it so that if anything happens, you can always know that we've got it safely secured for you. And the idea was that lawyers in the olden days would build in a client for the future and say, hey, when mom or dad passes away, the family has to come to you. I'm holding the will, and I then get the probate work, the legal work down the road. I always felt like that was disingenuous and a conflict of interest. And so it's been my practice for 28 years now that I make certain that the client keeps the original so that we're not accused of the family of, trying to hoard that business or whatever. And we routinely, do things in the future. But also it puts the opportunity and responsibility on the client to, keep their documents, keep them in a safe place, communicate with their family and their loved ones and say, hey, this is where everything is. Here's my documents so that they don't get lost. So a little bit more than you bargained for at the beginning of this video, but remember, keep those originals safe. If they're gone, the court is going to assume that you destroyed them and revoked whatever provisions you had, and that opens up kind of a Pandora's box of what happens to your estate, and all of your good work was then destroyed as well. So feel free to give us a call. We do a lot of this kind of work of estate planning for clients, and it's very interesting and rewarding for everybody. So give us a call at any time. Thank you.